Are you trying to find a way to incorporate more Black History Month activities into your literacy centers? I've got some great tips for you today and how I do it, and I hope that you'll find them applicable to your elementary or upper middle school classroom as well. And the things I'm going to tell you today are things that you can easily implement without adding on more time to your prep, which you know is a goal for my channel. All right, so the first thing I'm going to tell you, regardless if you do daily 5, literacy centers, or if you teach whole group, all of these things are going to be applicable to your classroom. The first tip I'm going to tell you is to just set up a reading corner that has books dedicated to historical figures from Black History Month. So I'm sure your school library has a whole section on this. You could ask the librarian to help you. You could also use books from your own classroom library if you have them, but having a corner dedicated to that so kids can go check out books and look at them easily, this will really help. My next tip is having a writing center dedicated to the same historical figures. I love doing this during Daily 5 as a work on writing task and letting kids choose the person they want to learn more about so they could tether the reading from Read to Self, picking one of those books we just talked about, to the writing center. Inside my TPT store, I have a lot of Black History Month historical figures, and all the activities are zero prep. So you can print them and kids can make foldable books. There's a writing prompt to go along with them, a closed reading passage. Very easily accessible for any type of learner in your classroom. So check those out and I'll leave them in the description box below. Okay, my next is to host a book club. I talk about this a lot in my Daily 5 series, and part of what I do during Daily 5 is having book clubs for my students. That's one of the stations they come to for their time to work with me. So you could have a series on historical figures again, maybe a nonfiction book that ties into something that you have taught in social studies that links back to Black History Month, or it could be a fictional book that's based on historical fiction that really aligns with what you're trying to accomplish by including more Black History Month activities. All right, next, you can have a timeline in your classroom with notable historical figures and what they accomplished and have the kids help you make this. You could do this simply by using any of your social studies resources to create the timeline and then have it go up in your classroom. I haven't done this one yet, but I'm thinking it's going to be a great idea for this February and have my students really be an active part of that. And then it'll tie back into the actual timeline of things that we are learning in our social studies curriculum for the entire year. Okay, another great idea that you could use during Daily 5 is to use multimedia resources. So that could be video clips that you've pre-approved, podcast episodes that your students would be interested in that could teach them something about Black History Month, and include these in literacy centers as well. So again, you don't have to do Daily 5 to accomplish these independent tasks that the kids can work on. I'm sure if you teach whole group, then there is time that your students are independent as well. And that could be something they listen to and then write about later on. All right, last, I'm going to tell you to encourage students to make their own art with Black History Month. So they could write a poem, draw a picture, anything that helps them express what they've learned about a historical figure and the impact they've made on our culture and society at large. I hope these ideas will help you, and be sure to check out my blog post. I'll link below. It goes into more detail on how you can incorporate all of these activities into your literacy centers or your reading block in your elementary classroom. And again, I have so many historical figures inside of my Teachers Pay Teachers store that could really help you figure out who you want to have your kids study for that week and have zero prep for you. All the work's been done for you. Share this video with a friend if you think it would be helpful to them for their literacy centers and Black History Month. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.